free registration competition. The questions were based on logical and aptitude-based types. The third is the sessions, talk sessions that were conducted by the domain club during the lockdown period. So one session was this AI based talk wherein we had a speaker from AI division Singtel, Miss Mithila Harish, who explained to us about the neural networks and the math behind the neural networks. The next talk session that we had was the webinar on mathematical intuition from engineering to innovation, wherein we had a speaker from Frap Technologies, that was Shivam Mishra. So these were the events conducted by the domain in the past year. Now we'll be moving on to the calculator workshop. Kshitij Rao, he will be taking over right now. Kshitij?
Yeah. Yeah. Amish, can you stop sharing your screen?
Yes.
Yeah. So is my screen visible?
Yes, it's visible.
Yeah. So you guys might be wondering why calculator workshop? Like everyone knows to operate a calculator, but this is not a normal calculator. It's a scientific calculator. So this calculator is actually quite useful during our entire engineering because it helps us to save time while solving certain types of equations, matrices. Because in the exam we get very less time to solve questions. So calculator is one aspect. If you are very fast in using the calculator, you can save much time on solving questions. So let's start with the first part of it. That is one second. Yeah, converting numbers into hexadecimal, binary, or octal. So this is the pop-up screen. Actually, you can see the pop-up screen. Amish, is that pop-up display visible?
Yeah. Kshitij,
Yeah.
you can keep yeah, fine. It's fine.
Yeah. So the pop-up display is actually a enlarged view of the calculator display here. So you guys can follow along with me here. So I will go very slow and I will explain each step properly. So you guys just follow. So I hope everyone has their calculator in with them in their hands. Okay, so I will start by converting. So here 85 is a decimal number. So you can see here 85 is a decimal number. So what we have to convert it into hexadecimal, binary, and octal. So how to go about this? So the first step is you click on the mode button that is present here. You can see when I click on the mode button, you will get several options. So click on the mode button first. Then you can see it says base in the fourth option. Fourth, it says base n. So you will click 4 to go to the base n mode. So then click 4. So anybody who has issues with this, just put it in the chat box. I will repeat it again. Anybody who is facing.
Can you speak louder? One student has sent this in a chat box.
Okay. Is it now proper, Amish?
Yeah,
Hello?
I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Rugved Langi is asking.
Yeah, Rugved, is it fine now? Okay. So, I will repeat again if he missed it. So to convert the number into any of the following hexadecimal, binary, octal, what we do, the first step is to go to mode, click on the mode button. Okay, then you have to select the base n option. That is, you can do that by clicking on the 4 button. So then you go to this mode, that is the base n mode. So after that, you have to identify what the given number is. The given number is a decimal number. So you have to go to the decimal mode. So here you can see the decimal mode is there. It is written in blue, DEC. That is the decimal mode. So click on that. So now you're in the decimal mode. So now you can enter your number here. So you click 85. And then you have to press equal to button. So now you have told the calculator that the number I have entered is in decimal format. So the calculator knows the number you have entered is in decimal format. So now you can convert it into any of the following formats by clicking on the respective buttons. If you want to convert 85 into hexadecimal number, click on the button where it above it says HEX. You can see in different color it will be written in your calculator. So click on that button. So you can see 85 is converted into hexadecimal number here. So if you want to convert 85 into binary number, click on the button where above it is written BIN. So you can see if you click on that, the number gets converted into binary. If you want to convert it into octal, click on the button where it is written OCT. So if you click on that button, you can see 85 is converted into the octal number. So anyone who has trouble in this, or should I repeat myself again? Anyone? Amish, can you check the chat box for any doubts?
Yeah, no one has said anything.
Can you, sir, please, can you explain the octal number? What is that?
Huh? Explain the octal number.
Yes.
It is octal number is normal, like your hexadecimal, that is octal number. It's a format of octal number. Like you're converting the binary, like you're converting decimal number, that is to the base 10, right?
Yes.
And
Yes.
hexadecimal is to the base 16, right? So octal number is to the base 8.
Okay.
So it is a format, or like it is like hexadecimal, octal is to the base 8. That is why you're converting it into an octal format. So you might get in your engineering paper to convert, these conversions might be required. But did you follow the process of how to convert these numbers?
Yes.
Yeah. So I will repeat again for those who missed some of these parts. Also, to go back to your normal calculator mode, what you have to do is click on the mode button again, and then you can see the first option, that is COMP, that is computing. So you go to that. So you will come back to the original mode where you can do the normal calculations. So I will start again by converting 85. So click on the mode button. Then the next step is go to the base and option, that is by clicking on the 4 button. After that, identify the number that you have been given, that is 85, that is a decimal number. So you need to be in the decimal mode. So click on decimal mode. So now you're in the decimal mode. Then you can enter your number and click equal to. So now the calculator knows that the number you have entered is in the decimal mode. So now you can tell it to convert it to any of the following modes. For example, hexadecimal can be, the 85 number can be converted into hexadecimal number by clicking on HEX option. It can be converted into binary number by clicking on BIN option. It can be converted into an octal number by clicking on the OCT option. So this was to convert a decimal number into any of these three following options. Now we will see how to convert a hexadecimal number. 1A is an hexadecimal number. So if you click on AC, your calculator will reset, and you can go to mode and move to the normal computational mode. So now I will convert 1A to the rest of the three following, that is a hexadecimal number into a decimal, binary and octal format. So again the step remains the same. You need to go to mode, then you have to click base N option, that is by clicking on 4 button. Now in 85, as it was decimal, we clicked on decimal option, but now you can see 1A is a hexadecimal number. So you need to go to the hexa option. I will show you one error that comes in the calculator. If you go 1 and A is present here, you can see A option in your calc. It is written in a different color. So you can click there. And if you press equal to, this calc gives a syntax error, as 1A is not present in a decimal number. Like 1A is invalid in case of a decimal number. So you have to identify what the number given to you is. So this is one of the common mistakes that students make when they are converting, and then they get stuck up at this point. So I will start again here. So now identify your number. So 1A is a hexadecimal number. So first thing you need to do is go to the hexadecimal mode. So you can do that by going to HEX option, clicking on the HEX option. So click on that. So now you're in the hexadecimal mode, and now you can enter your number that is given to you, that is 1 and A can be generated by clicking on the button that shows the A option above. And now you have to tell the press equal to tell the calculator that the number I have entered is in hexadecimal format. So now the calculator knows the number you have entered is in hexadecimal format. So now you can convert it into any of these following formats by clicking on the respective buttons. Like if you want to convert 1A into decimal number, click on decimal option. So now you can see it is converted. If you want to convert it into a binary number, then click on binary option. If you want to convert it into a octal number, click on the OCT option. So I will wait for some time. You guys can try this again. If I'm going a bit fast, you can stop me at any time and ask your doubts. So any of you have any doubts regarding these conversions? Amish, can you check the chat box for me?
Kshitij,
See,
could you repeat the part where you did it to hexadecimal?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I will repeat that part. 1 second. Okay, so the part where the input is given as a hexadecimal number, right? Hello. Okay. So the first step is going to the mode. Then click on the basin option, that is by clicking on the button 4. So now the input given to you is an hexadecimal number, that is 1A. So you can see the default mode that the calculator gives us is the decimal option, that is DEC. So if you enter 1A here, you will get a syntax error as 1A does not exist in the decimal format. So you have to go to the hexadecimal mode. You can go to hexadecimal mode by clicking on HEX option that is present in your calculator. So click on that. So now your calculator is in hexadecimal mode. And now you can enter 1A here. So now 1 and then A. And then press equal to option. So when you press equal to, now the calculator knows that you have entered an hexadecimal number. And then you can convert this hexadecimal number into any of the following formats by clicking on the respective buttons. That is DEC for decimal, for binary BIN, for octal OCT. Yeah. So those who had doubt in this, is this clear now? If you understood this part, can you type yes in the chat box just so that I can? Yeah, Amish, are we getting the responses?
Yeah. Don't worry about that.
Okay. So now this 20, why octal is written? Because 20 exists in decimal. This is not 20 actually, this is 20. This is 20 exists in decimal as well as octal number. So this is an octal number. 20 is an octal number. So now I will start again for those who might have missed some part. So the first step is by going to mode, go to your mode, then click on base and option. Now the default mode that the calculator gives you is your decimal mode. So now the number given to you is in octal format. So what the first step should be is to go to the octal mode. So you have to go to the octal mode by selecting the OCT option that is present. So click on OCT option. So now your calculator is in octal mode. So now you can enter 20 here and press equal to option. So now the calculator has identified that the number you have entered is an octal number. So now you can proceed by converting it to any of the 3 formats by clicking on the respective buttons. That is DEC for decimal, HEX for hexadecimal, and as it is an octal, you can convert it into binary by clicking in BIN, by clicking BIN option. So now this is how you can convert any of the following numbers into other formats. So anyone who has a doubt in this, please unmute yourself and you can ask, because this will be the base for the next operation we perform. Anyone has a doubt, you can unmute yourself and ask. Amish, any doubts in the chat box?
Nope.
Hey Kshitij, hello.
Yeah.
I would like to add something. So guys, decimal number starts from 0 to 9. Okay, that is of base 10. You have 10 numbers 0 to 9. And how do we move to next number? We take 1 and we add 0. So that is our 10. Then we add 1 and 1, 11. 1 and 2, 12. And so on is the decimal numbers. Now what are octal numbers? Octal numbers, as we said, is to the base 8. Okay, so they start from 0 to 7. Now, what will be the next number? Since there is no 8 in the octal, what we do is we consider 8, decimal 8 as 1, 0 in octal. So I think Kshitij, can you show 8 decimal in octal? That should be 1, 0.
Yeah, 1 second. 8 in octal, right?
8 in decimal.
Okay, 1 second.
Kshitij, 8 in decimal and put that in octal.
Okay.
Enter 8
Yeah, 1 second.
and put that in octal.
Yeah, it's 1 0.
So see, there 8 number doesn't exist in octal since it has only 0 to 7. So for 8, you move 1, 0. As in decimal, we move when we finish till 9, we go 1, 0 for 10. So that's how these numbers are. And hexadecimal is from 0 to 9. And then 11 to 15, sort of, they are not numbers. They are A, B, C, D, E.
Yeah, so anyone has any doubt, please unmute yourself, because these are some of the basics that you need to know. So please unmute yourself and ask, and be free to ask any doubt. Like, it may be a very simple doubt, or you want me to explain it again, I will start from the scratch. So please unmute, type in the chat box or unmute yourself.
Can you just repeat about what is hexadecimal?
So hexadecimal is to the base 16 basically. So like, it is going from 0 to 7. The hexadecimal goes from 0 to 15.
So basically, it is like when decimal is the very commonly used numbering system. If you take the number 112 in decimal, what do you see? Like you have 2 in the units place, 1 in the tens place, another one in the hundreds place. Now we all know that whatever comes in the units place is adding up to the value as it is. Like if 2 is in the units place, we add the number 2 to it. Where if 1 is in the tens place, we add 10 to it. And if 1 is in the hundreds place, we add 100 to it. So 100 plus 10 plus 2. This is the kind of the arithmetic that goes behind our minds when we see the number 112. Similarly, this is because 112 is in the decimal system. Now, when you do it in the hexadecimal system or in the octal system, so let's take octal system. So if I see 2 in the units place, the very first position, what I do is I multiply that to the number 1. You assign positions 0, 1, 2, and so on, moving from the right to the left, and you multiply whatever system you're taking it. So when I take octal system, 8 is my base number. Whatever it's in the units place, I multiply that number into 8 raised to 0. Whatever is in the tens place, I multiply that number into 8 raised to 1. So when it's in the decimal system, what you do is you multiply 2 into 10 raised to 0. Eventually you get 2. Then when I see 1 in the tens place, what you do is 1 into 10 raised to 1. So I get the value 10. And when I see 1 in the hundreds place, I multiply 1 into 10 raised to 2. So I get 100. And when I add all the 3 of these individual numbers, I get the sum 112. Similarly, when you do it in the octal system, yeah, so what you do is 2 into 8 raised to 0, because it's the octal system. So you get 2. 1 into 8 raised to 1 plus 1 into 8 raised to 2. And so you get 160 in the decimal. Its decimal equivalent is what you get to see. I think that was pretty clear from my end.
Also, don't worry if you didn't understand some of the aspects. You will be having these conversions in your syllabus. So you will be taught this part in the engineering syllabus. So don't worry that if you are not understanding how to manually convert it into these numbers, but just know, for now, remember how to convert it using a calculator. So anyone has a doubt in converting numbers to any format, any doubts? Like, You unmute yourself or type in the chat box. So I will repeat again. Amish, any doubts?
No, Kshitij, you can start with that performing
Okay.
the 3 questions.
Okay.
Okay.
Sure.
See, because you have already cleared it a lot of times, so let them try the questions. Okay.
Okay. So in the performing part, I will perform the first question. The second question you guys can try. It is on the similar line. So I will show how the first question is solved. So I will start from scratch again. Okay, so now we are coming in the normal mode. So the first step is to go to click on the mode option, then click on the baseline option by clicking on the button 4. So now the given numbers, 2 numbers are in binary format. You can see that ones and zeros. This is a binary format. So to add, you need to add 2 binary numbers. So the first step remains the same, that go to the mode in which the given input is, that is binary. So click on the binary option by clicking on BIN button. So now, so after that, you have to type your first number, that is 10110. So I can type 10110. So then the operation to be performed is addition. So you can click on the plus option, and the next number is 5 times 1 basically. So 1, and then you can press equal to. So you can see the addition is performed and the answer is given in the binary format here. So if you want to convert the answer into decimal format to see, you can click on the DEC option. So you can see the addition of these two gives 53 in decimal. So for those who didn't understand, I think that it was quick. So I will repeat myself again. First step you do is go to the mode option. Then you go to baseline option by clicking on 4 button. Then identify the number you have been given. That is it in binary, decimal, hexa or octal format? So the given numbers are in binary format. So click on the binary option by going on BIN button. So now you are in the binary mode. Now you have to add these 2 numbers. So type the numbers exactly as they are given. That is 10110, and then you have to add them. So plus and 111. Yeah. So now you have written the equation, and then you have to press the equal to symbol. So you got the answer in the binary format. But usually in papers, what the questions will be like is they are giving 2 binary numbers and they will ask what the decimal value is. So now you have to convert this number into decimal format. So you have to click on the DEC button after that. So you can get the answer for these 2 binary addition in the decimal format. So any doubts in this, you can unmute yourself or type in the chat box. Amish, any doubts?
No, I have just asked them to solve those remaining 2 questions and post the answer in the chat box. Okay.
Okay. So you guys can try the next question, that is the octal one, and post the answer in the chat box. So I will be doing it. Amish, you told them just now, or like 1-2 minutes have passed?
I just asked them now.
Okay, so I will solve it in 1 minute. You can try the question. So remember, always identify the given input and convert your calculator in the given mode. That is the first step.
Amish, I think we have quite many answers for the second one.
Yeah, I'm just checking. I'm just checking the answers. So everyone is giving the correct answers. So that's
Okay.
good.
Okay. For those who have some doubts, I will solve the question. So now the given numbers are in octal mode. So first I will go to the octal mode of the calculator. So now I'm in the octal mode. So now I have to type the numbers. That is 12. That is not 12 actually, 12 plus 20. So now I will press the equal to option. So now this gives me the answer in octal format. So if I want to convert this into the decimal format, I will click on the decimal option, and in decimal the answer is 26. So did everyone get the same answer, 32, or is it decimal 26? Amish, the answers are right?
Yeah, it's right.
Anyone who has a doubt in this, please unmute yourself or write in the chat box. I will repeat myself again. Amish, anything in the chat box?
No, not yet.
Okay. So now the given. So can you guys identify what the third type is? Like, what is the given input type? You can write the answer in the chat box, or you can unmute yourself. Anyhow, what is the given type? Given input type?
Hexadecimal.
Yeah, that's right. So can you perform this, and what is the answer for that?
28.
Okay, I will just. Amish, do we have answers in the chat box also?
Yeah. We are
Okay.
getting answers.
Okay. So I will solve this. Okay, so the first step is to identify the number as, sorry, I didn't know the name. Can you, what is the name? Who just answered?
Vaibhav.
Yeah, so as Weber rightly said, this is hexadecimal format. So you have to go to the hexadecimal mode, and then you have to type what is equation that is given to you. So 1a plus e, so you can see where e is given, you have to click that button, and then you have to press equal to sign. So it is 28 in hexadecimal format. So to convert it into decimal, you have to click the DEC button. So now the answer in decimal is 40. So did everyone get 40 here? Or in hexadecimal it is 28? So any doubts? This was the last question in the conversion part. So any doubts, just clear it right away. I will repeat any of the parts if you didn't understand. So if you guys understood this part, just type yes in the chat box so that I can get a confirmation.
Most of them, everyone is saying yes. Okay. One person said didn't understood.
Which
That
part?
is Ravina. Ravina, please unmute yourself and explain your doubt.
Doubt, yeah.
I didn't get. Yeah, I got it. I got it now.
Okay. So if you have any doubt, you can ask. That's not a problem.
There's
So
Rishikesh asking, is 1A and A different?
1A, yeah. Only A, only A, we do not use only A. So 1A is a hexadecimal format. Like after 10, there is no like it goes from 1A, 1B like that. It will go. So any other doubts in the chat box?
Kshitij, I think you can go ahead with the next slide.
Okay, so 1 second. So okay, the next part is the solving equations. So no matter which field or which department you are, solving equations is one of the standard a thing that you will require like in each year. So this is something you need to learn because earlier in 11th 12 we were solving these equations manually. So now you will learn how to solve them using your calculators. So first I will go to my normal computational mode. So this is the normal computational mode that you are in. So please, if anyone is in the base N mode, come to the normal computational mode by going to mode and pressing 1. So now if you are in the computational mode, so first you have to first you need to go to the mode again, and then you can see EQN, that is stands for equations. So you have to click on the phi option. So now there are several options given to you here. So how to identify? So first see how your equation stands. So you can see your equation, the first equation given to you, that is x plus 3y equal to 6, is of the form which is given to you here, anx plus bny. So if you identified this, then also it has two variables, so you can identify the similarity between these two equations. So then you have to click 1, because again I will repeat myself, it is a two variable equation, as well as the format given to you matches with the format given to our question, that is anx plus bny. So the anx is 1 here and the bny is 3 here. So you can see the format that is given to us. matches with the format that is here. So you have to click 1 here. So now you can see we have a matrix where they are telling to put the values of A, B and C for the two equations. So what majority of people do wrong here is the equation given to us is x plus 3y equal to 6. So we need to equate it to 0. So what the first step is, x plus 3y minus 6 is equal to 0. You have to write the equation in that format to enter it into your calculators. Like I will enter the first equation and show you. So the a value, what is the a value in the first equation? That is 1, because the number with x, there is no number with x, so that is 1 into x basically. So you will write 1 here. So then b, what is b? So the number with y is 3, so you have to write 3 here, and then you have to press equal to sign. Then now you don't enter 6 here, you have to enter minus 6 because you have to equate it to 0. So x plus 3y minus 6 will be equal to 0. So the value of C will be minus 6.
Kshitij,
Yeah.
Hey Kshitij, sorry to
it
interrupt.
should be 1, 3 and
Can you
6.
go?
The calculator format is x plus 3.
Oh, sorry.
Ax plus by is equal to c.
Sorry.
Not ax plus by minus c.
Sorry. My bad.
Yeah.
1 second. I will start it again. So ax plus by equal to c. So you will enter here 1. Then the next number that is with y is 3. So 3 into y. So you will enter here 3 and equal to 6. So the number you have here is 6. So you will enter here directly 6. And then you have to press equal to sign. Then you have to enter the value of the next equation. That is 2 here. So 2 into x. So you have to enter 2 and then press the equal to sign. Then you can see the minus sign is with the 3. So here you can't enter 3. You have to enter minus 3 here and press the equal to sign. And then 12 as equal to 12. So you have to enter here 12. So 1 and 2 and then enter. So now after you have entered all the values for the given variables, then you can press equal to again. So it will give you the values of x and y. That is x is equal to 6 and y is equal to 0. So I will repeat the entire process again. The first how to go about is go to mode, then click on the equation that is 5. Then identify the equation format given to you, that is the equation given to you has two variables, so x and y. Then you have to identify how is the format given to you. It is of a and x plus b and y. So a and x plus b and y equal to cn. So the equation matches with the given format, so you have to click 1. Then you have to enter the values of a, b and c for the given two equations. So how you go is press 1 as 1 into x, so a will be 1, and then press equal to sign. Then you have to press 3 as it is 3 into y, the value of b will be the value with y. So you have to press 3 and then press equal to sign. Then c will be 6 as equal to 6, so cn, the format is cn, so 6 will come here and then press equal to sign. So the next option, for next equation, the number with x is 2, so you have to click 2 and then press equal to sign. Then the number with y is minus 3, so you have to press minus 3 and then press equal to sign. Then the number after equal to is 12, that is c is 12, so you have to press 1, 2. Sorry. And then if after entering all the values of a, b, c for the two equations, you have to again enter equal to. So you will get the values of x, that is 6, and get a value for y is 0. So these are the solutions for the equations. So any doubt in solving these equations, you can put in the chat box or unmute yourself.
No.
Amish, anything in the chat box?
So people are solving the equations and getting are writing down the answers in the chat box.
Okay. So is the two variable equation clear So I will move on to the next one. Amish, did you tell them to solve the next question?
Can you repeat it again once?
Okay, okay. Sure. Okay, so the first, you follow along with me right now, okay? So the first step is to click on the mode button. Then you have to go, can you mute yourself, folks? Yeah. So the first step is to go to the mode option, and then you have to click the equation button, that is by selecting phi. Now identify the equation. So how you can see it has two variables, x and y. So you have to see the two variable equations are 1 and 2. So x and y, no, only the two variable equation is 1. X and y is present here. Also you can identify it by seeing the format, that is a and x plus b and y equal to cn. The given equation to use of the same format. An stands for 1, bn stands for 3 and is equal to c.
Hello?
Yeah.
I'm not getting these options as one as A and X and that all. I'm getting as unknowns, question, and 2 and 3 they have given.
Did you go to mode and then press 5?
Yeah, I did that. See, my calculator is FX991MS.
FX991MS.
Yeah. So it's showing, I guess, something different in this.
So in your mode option, is it showing phi as the equation option, EQ?
No, it's showing as 1.
Okay, so go to the equation option of your mode, in the mode.
I went, but it's showing as unknowns, and then after that it's showing 2 and 3.
So there are no equation given in that?
No.
Okay.
Pranay, are you using 991 ES or 991 MS?
MS. 991 MS.
Okay, so see, the simulator is for 991 ES and ES plus. I hope the teachers was mentioned to you, right?
Can I intervene? Can I intervene?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, go to mode. Whoever is having that doubt, go to mode. Then keep pressing that mode twice. So then you'll get the EQN option. First and first, yeah. Then you'll see the unknowns. So now, right now in this equation, you are having two unknowns. So press 2.
Yeah.
Then you have the option for A1, A2, and so on. So
A1
press
question mark is showing.
Yes. So now you type 1 because it is x plus 3y equal to 6. So A1 is 1.
Okay.
Then press equal to, you will get the option for B1. B1 is 3.
Okay.
Press equal to, C1 is 6.
Okay.
Continue the same for A2. Only remember that it is minus 3y. So enter minus 3 for B2.
Okay.
Then continue with equal to signs.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Pratibha.
Most welcome.
Okay, so now let's continue with our session. So the next equation, so I will go to the computational mode again. Yeah. So here the next equation to solve. So first step is to go to the mode, then click on the equation option by pressing phi. So now identify the equation again. So the equation given to us is x square plus 4x plus 1 equal to 0. So you can see the equation given to us is similar to the option 3, that is ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0, where a stands for 1 here, that is the number with x square, it is b is 4 and c is 1 and is equal to 0. So now you have to click on the 3 button to get the equation in that format. So now you are given 3 options to enter, that is values of a, b and c. So a is the number with x square, so nothing is there, so it is 1 into x square. So enter 1 and press equal to. So then for b, it is a number with x. So the number with x is 4, so that is 4 into x. So you have to enter 4 here. And then c is the constant part, that is plus 1. So 1 is the constant part. and press equal to. So after you have entered the values of A, B, and C, you have to enter, you have to press equal to sign. So then you will get the values here. So you can see here the value for x1. So as this equation is a binary equation, quadratic equation, you will get two values of x, basically two roots. So you can see x1, the first root is -2 plus root 3, but you might want to have a decimal. If you want to have this number in a decimal format, you can see converting S into D option is shown in your calculator. It is above delete button and besides M plus button. So you can click on that to get the answer in a decimal decimal format. And you can press that again to convert it into this format, -2 plus root 3. And if you press equal to again, you will get the second root, that is -2 minus root 3. And again, if you want to convert it, there is a button where it's shown S double arrow D. It is above delete button and besides M plus button. So click on that and you will get the answer in a decimal format. And if you click on that again, you will get it in this -3 minus root 3 format. So this options are showing in the simulator, but in a Calci this won't be shown. So I will repeat this again. If you guys have any doubt, please stop me in between and ask. So first step is go to the equation, then identify your equation by seeing, as it is a quadratic equation, x square term, you can see that identify the x square term, the x term, and the constant term. So according to that, you have to press the three option, and then you have to enter the values. So A is the number with x square. So 1 into x square. So you will enter 1 equal to. So B is the value that is with x. So that is 4. So enter 4 and then equal to. C is the constant term present, that is 1. So press 1 and then equal to, and then press again equal to. So you will get the two roots. As it is a quadratic equation, you have to get two roots. So the first root is -2 plus root 3. But if you prefer to write the answer in a point format, that is decimal format, you can convert it using the button S double arrow D that is present above delete button and besides M plus button. So press that and you can convert this into a decimal format. And if you don't want to convert it, then you can press that button again. Then press equal to again to get the second root, that is -2 minus root 3. Again, to convert it into decimal, you can click on the button that is above the delete button and besides the M plus button. So you can get it in this format and press that again. And these options are not available in your normal calculator. This is shown in the simulator only. Okay, so any doubts in this, please unmute yourself or type it in the chat box.
Kshitij, everyone in fact solved the third question also.
Okay.
In fact, I've checked the answer. So you can go for the find value of x, that single variable one.
But I will solve the third one. There might be someone maybe who didn't.
Okay, we'll just check in the chat box.
Okay. So for the third equation, what are the steps is go to the fifth, click on the fifth button. Now identify the third equation. It has it is a cubic equation, you can see. So the x cube term is present. So as the x cube term is present in the fourth option, you have to click on the fourth button. Now here, one second. Okay, so here you have to enter the values of x cube, x square, x and 12. So the term with x cube is 1. So you will enter 1 equal to. Then the term with x square is 8. So you have to enter 8 into x square. So you have to enter 8 here. So the term with x is 19. So you have to enter 19 here. And the term with D, that is the constant term, is 12. So you have to enter 12. and then press the equal to sign. So now after entering all the values of a, b, c, d, you have to click equal to again, and as it is a cubic equation, you will get 3 roots. So x1 is -1, the first root, the second root is -3, and the third root is -4. So this is how you solve a cubic equation. So anyone who has a doubt in solving these 3 equations, please write in the chat box or unmute yourself. So I assume that no one has any doubt. So we will go by solving how to solve how to find values of x by using a single equation. So you can see the above equations when are either 2 variable equations, or if they are single variable, they are quadratic or cubic. So you can solve equations that are 2 variable or are quadratic or cubic using the direct equation mode. But if you want to solve an equation which has a single variable and is not of the form x square or x cube, you need to write the equation manually first and then use shift solve. So I will show you how the steps are. So first you have to enter the exact same equation given here. So how we will do is, so there is an option to write it in a numerator denominator format. It is below the option CALC. You can see here. You can get this by clicking on that button. It will give you a numerator denominator format, a fraction format basically. So after that, you have to type the exact same equation. So x, so how will you get x? So you can see here there is a x symbol written here, but if you directly click, you will get a bracket symbol. So it does not work like that. The color of x matches with the alpha written over above in the above button. So you have to first click alpha and then click on that button. So then you will get x there. So if you're following me, then you have got the x above. Then the next is +1. So you will write +1 here after that. Then the denominator is 3. So you move down. So how you will move down? By pressing the down arrow. So here, and now you have to press right 3. Then to move towards the right, you have to press the right button, right arrow key basically. So you will go to right, and then again there is a plus. So right plus. So again we need a fraction here, the numerator denominator format. So you will click on that button again. That is below the CALC button. And then you have to again write 2. And this is x. So you will get the x option again here. So you will write alpha x. And you will move down and then write 4. Then here is the tricky part. If you directly, you have to write equal to here, equal to 4. So if you click on equal to right now, it will give you an error. So you have to generate the equal to symbol. So if you see the CALC button has a equal to symbol written above it. So how to generate that? The color matches with the alpha color. So you have to click on alpha first and then generate the equal to symbol. So this is how you generate the equal to symbol. And then after that, you need to write 4 as given in the equation. So now you have completely written the equation. Now you want to find the value for x. So how you will do this is by using the shift solve method. So you can see above the CALC option, there is a solve written that is in color matching to shift button, shift option. So first you click on the shift button and then you click on the CLC button. So it will ask, do you want to solve for x? So you have to click on equal to option here after that. So you can see it gives you the value of 4.4. By solving the equation, it will give you the value of 4.4. That is the value for x. So did you guys follow with me, or should I repeat myself again? Any doubts in this, or should I solve this?
Explain
Can you
the
please repeat?
Yeah,
fractional format. No?
Yeah, I will repeat it again. Yeah. Okay, so first step. So why we are doing this is, as the equation has only single variable, as well as it is not in cubic or quadratic form. So for these type of equations, we have to do it using the shift solve method. So first step is you have to type the entire equation as it is. So you can do that by using the fraction button that is below the CALC button. Then you have to type x plus 1. So x can be generated by pressing alpha and the bracket button where above x is written. Then you plus write the equation as it is, and then to move down you have to press the down arrow and then write 3. Then you have to move towards the right. So to move towards the right you have to press the right arrow, then write again plus. Then you can see 2x upon 4. So it's again a numerator denominator format. So you will click on the same fraction button. So after that you have to type 2 and then again x. So it will be alpha and the x button. So now you have to type 4. So you have to move down. So press the down arrow. Then you have to type 4 here. Then as equal to symbol is towards the right, we move first towards the right by pressing the right arrow. Then we have to generate the equal to symbol. So to generate the equal to symbol, we press shift and the alpha and the CALC symbol. Press alpha and the CALC button. So then you will get your equal to here. Then you have to write 4. So now your entire equation is written on the calculator. So now what you do is you press shift and then you use CALC to solve the equation. After this it asks, do you want to solve for x? So you press equal to symbol, equal to button. So you will get x is equal to 4.4. Is it clear now?
Yes.
Yeah. So any doubts regarding this? Please type it in the chat box if any doubts you have regarding this. Amish, any doubts in the chat box?
No, not yet. I mean, let me just see. Okay, RMN, what problem are you facing? How? RMN, please, he got answer as 0.
0. Oh. Can you unmute yourself and like did you type the same equation as it is given in the hello Amish, is he writing in the chat box?
You just I think Ariman, please type in the chat box if your doubt is clear or if you got the answer. Yeah. Okay, Ariman's doubt has been clear.
Okay, so anyone who has any doubt in this?
Wait a second.
Yeah.
Pratham, can you please repeat that?
Which entire equation part?
Actually, I was not able to get equal to after 2x plus 4.
Okay, so okay, I will repeat it again. You follow with me again.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So so first press the numerator and denominator button. Then you press alpha to get the x, alpha and the x option. Then press plus and then 1. Then you press the down arrow to get the 3. Then you go to right by clicking the right arrow button. Then press plus. Then you have to again generate a numerator denominator format. So press on that button. Then it is 2 and again alpha and x button. Then you press the down arrow to generate 4. Then you press the right arrow to move towards the right. So Aryaman, are you with me? Prathamesh, I think.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, so you are with me here till here. Have you entered in the So now to generate the equal to symbol, you have to press alpha and CALC button. So now did the equal to come?
Yes, now it is.
Yeah. Then you press 4 and then you use Shift and CLC button to solve the equation.
Okay, I got the answer. Thank you.
And then equal to, yeah. Welcome. So anyone, any other person who has a doubt in this? So I think there are no more doubts. So I will move to the next part, that is solving the log equations. So 1 second, I will clear the. So these are quite simple options to solve. So if you want to get the value of log to the base 5 and 15, so what I will do is, see, you can see there is an option here. It is below the on button, showing it is giving you the value of base and what number you want to write. So there are 2 inbuilt logs already. So I will show you those later. So first we will solve the given equations to us. So did you find the button that is present here? That is below the on button, you can see. It is towards the right and the topmost right corner button. Below on. So you have to enter 5 and then it is given 15. So you move towards, you click the right arrow key to go there and then you press 1 and 5 and then you press equal to. So you will get the value for that. That is 1.6826. So did you guys follow this? So if you can solve log 769, if anyone can solve this and write the answer in the chat box.
2.1759.
Okay. Any more answers?
2.175 is right. 176, you can say.
So I will solve it again. So you click on this button that is below on button, then that is 7. Then you type 69 here and then you press equal to. Yeah, so 2.1759. So can you do that for log 320? Any answers in the chat box, Amish?
Yeah, everyone is typing out the answers. They are typing out the correct answers. So that's good.
Okay, so I will just solve year 3 and 20. Yeah, so I hope you got the same answer. It's 2.7268. So the last one here, it has 2 ways to solve. So you can see the base is E here. So you can either use this method or the calculator gives you a already inbuilt defined ln option. So in engineering, when the base is E, we call it ln. So wherever you see ln, you can see that the log is to the base E. You take the log of that number to the base E. So I will show it again here. So if the first option is how you did this, so you can see here, you will click on the button that is below on and then you have to generate the E. So where will you get? You can see there, there is an option above the ln button that shows e raised to something, e raised to some power of something. So you use shift and then press that button. So you can see it generates. So now the power of E is 1. As nothing is given, the assumed power of E, like if nothing is given, then the power is 1. So you press 1 here and then move to right by clicking the right arrow. And then press again right. Because if you press 1 time, it will be in that section only. So you have to go again to the right to move into the brackets. So press 2 times right after writing 1.
Can I intervene?
Yeah.
See, there's E at the bottom, in the bottom row also. Last row, alpha E.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So you can use that option also if you want to generate E directly, then you can go by clicking on alpha and then you can click here that into 10 raised to x, that also shows E. So you will get directly E value here. And then you can move towards the right and then type 5.4 and then press equal to. So then there you can get the value of this. But if you can note down this value, that is 1.686. So now if you want to directly get the value, as I told in engineering, ln stands for to the base e. So you can directly use ln and then type 5.4 here. So that will also give you the same value, that is 1.686, as ln is assumed to be to the base e. So either of the two methods which are comfortable with, you can use. So I will repeat again. So if the base is e, you do this, then you go alpha and e option, and then you press right arrow, and then you click on click 5.4 and then press equal to. So that is 1.686. So now if you don't want to do this, then you can go with ln option. As in engineering, ln stands for to the base e. So then you go write 5.4 directly and close the bracket and then press equal to. So you will get the same answer. So any doubt in solving the log equations, you can type in the chat box or unmute yourself. Amish, any doubt in the chat box?
No. Guys, please don't annotate on the screen, on the shared screen. Okay.
Okay. So now the matrix part will be covered by Saloni here. So if you don't have any doubt, so Saloni will continue from where I left.
Yes, thank you, Kshitij. I'll just try sharing my screen. Okay, is the screen visible?
Yes.
Okay, just a minute. Okay, so I'll be taking over from here. So now we'll learn about matrices. So here we have this display. To enter into matrices, again we follow the method as we go to mode. Then we have your options. Can you see 6 as a matrix? So enter into 6. Now it asks you 3 options, matrix A, B, or C. So we usually go into 1. We'll get to know later why we are doing this. So we do 1. We enter into matrix A. Now it's asking us about the dimensions. So for addition, what we do is we have a problem here, which is a 2 by 2 matrix plus 2 by 2 matrix. So we see the 5th option as 2 by 2. So we enter into 5th. So we get this kind of form. So you know these are horizontal rows and vertical columns. In calculator, we first fill the horizontal rows. So I'll do that. We have 2 and 5. So 2 enter is equal to, then 5 equal to. That moves to this next row. So we have 1 and 3. 1 equal to, 3 equal to. Okay. So now you have entered the values. And now what we're going to do is we need to perform we need to take input from another matrix, and then we need to add them. So here, please remember this step. Now, after you enter your data, click AC. You will see a 0. Worry not. Go to Shift and 4. You can see matrix over here. So Shift indicates it's a yellow color. So all the yellow colors would be. So as soon as you press Shift, you will see the S symbol over here, and then you can go to any yellow colored operation. So here we have matrices 4. So I go there. Now we need to enter data for the second matrix. So we go into data. Remember, we go into data. That is 2. Now we have already our data in matrix A. So now we'll take our data in new matrix, which is matrix B. Okay. So I enter 2 and I go into second matrix B. Now again, I need the dimensions. Now addition of matrices happens only when you have the same dimensions or the same shape. So here also I will go to 5, 2 by 2. and we get this form. Now again, we are going to enter the values, horizontal rows. So first 4 equal to 2 equal to, then second row 3 equal to 1 equal to. So as soon as you enter the values, when you're done entering, press AC, you will get a 0, go to shift and then press 4. Sorry. Wait. Okay, so you get the symbol to make sure that you are in the shift operation. Then you go to 4 since it's matrix written over here. Now we are going to add the two matrix. Remember our data was in matrix A and matrix B. So can you see number 3 as matrix A? So just put 3. So you get matrix A written over here. Then you need to add with matrix B. So put a plus sign, shift, go to 4. So then we get the options over here. Then matrix B, which is in 4. So 4. You get this form as matrix A plus matrix B. Hit equal to, and you will get the answer. So you know 2 plus 4, that is 6. So, and then 5 plus 2 is 7. 1 plus 3 is 4 and 3 plus 1 is 4. So you know that this answer is right. Any doubts so far?
Please repeat again.
Okay. We'll go from start. Okay. So we are now in, we hit mod. In mod, we have these options. We are solving matrices. So we'll go in 6, which is matrix written over here. So we enter 6. Now remember that we are taking data and putting into matrix A, matrix B, or either in matrix C. Now I put it in matrix A. So I enter 1. Okay. Now I need to know the dimension to add. Okay. So here we see that there are 4 values and it's a 2 by 2 matrix. So here 2 by 2 I get by entering 5. So I enter 5. Okay. Just clear this off. Okay. Okay, wait, I'll just clear everything. Let's start fresh. Okay. So we go into 6 matrix. We go into A. We select the dimension as 2 by 2. And sorry. Just a minute. Okay, wait. Hello, am I audible?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, can I move on? I think it's showing my net connection is weak. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'll just continue. Sorry. Okay, so here we enter the values. Okay, so horizontal row. So we see 2 and then we see 5. Okay, so 2 equal to, and we move to the next column, 5 equal to. We move to the next row. So we fill the values horizontally like rows. So 1 equal to 3 equal to. Now you're done entering the values in matrix A. Okay, when you're done, press AC. You will see a 0. So the data is taken in matrix A. Now enter shift, go into matrix 4. So now we need to enter the data for second matrix, which is matrix B, and we enter into 4. Okay, sorry. Shift. Okay, sorry. Okay, yeah, I missed that. Okay, while entering the data now, in the second matrix, you go into 2. Okay, so we are entering the data for the second time, we go into 2. Now we go into matrix B. Sorry for that. And now we see the dimension, which is again 2 by 2. We go into 5. Now we enter the values. So 4 equal to 2 equal to 3 equal to 1 equal to. Now we are done with entering our data. Again, press AC. Now go to shift. Now go to matrix, which is 4 here. And now, okay. So now we are going to add matrix, the data in the matrix A and the data in the matrix B. So basically we are going to enter 3 and then we are again going to, so okay, we'll just do that. Enter 3, you get matrix A. Add, okay. Then shift 4, since it's, when you enter shift no, this matrix, it will go into that part. So now again, now you are here. Now you see we have data in our matrix B. So we enter 4. And you get this. Now you press equal to and you get the answer. Any doubts so far? There's just one thing to note, that once you finish entering data in matrix A, press AC, go to shift, okay, press AC, go to shift and go into 2 data mode, this, for entering the values of the second matrix. Okay, I think I'll do the next example that would make it more clear. Okay. Sorry. So here we have matrix, we go into 6. Now we enter the data for matrix A. Now you see the dimensions. Here we have 3 rows and 2 columns. So it's a 3 by 2. So 3 by 2 is the second one. Okay. Now we enter the data 7 and 3 equal to, then we have 3 and 4. So 3 equal to 4 equal to, and we have 9 and 0. 9 equal to 0 equal to. Now pay attention. So we have entered the data in matrix A. Okay. So for any more doubts, how to go into matrix and how to enter the data? Any doubts in this process? Yes, Rishabh, I will be going to matrix B. Is there any issues in entering in matrix A, data in matrix A? Okay, thank you. Okay, we'll go to matrix B now. Okay, so you have entered the data in matrix A. Okay, press AC. Okay, you get a 0. Now we need to enter the data into matrix B, right? So we go shift, we go into matrix section, that is 4. Now to enter the data in matrix B, we have to go into 2, which is data mode. Okay, because matrix B will directly input you to the data which is already present in matrix B. So now we need to enter these values, right? So to enter the values, we press 2. Okay, so hit 2. Now we need matrix B. So again, I hit 2. Now the dimension, as we said, was 3 by 2, right? So that is in the second option. So 2. Now entering the values, I think this would be easy. So 1 equal to 2 equal to 3 equal to 4 equal to 4 equal to 5 equal to. Now you're done entering the values in matrix B. As soon as you're done entering the values, the next step is press AC. Next is go to shift, go to in the matrix section. Now what you need to do is, you have your data in matrix A and you have your data in matrix B. So you're going to use those matrices. So we have this option 3 as matrix A. Okay, so we hit that. So we have the data already, which we entered earlier. Then it's a subtraction. So subtract. Then again, shift 4. Then we need matrix B. So 4. And then press equal to. So we get these. I hope you know how the matrices addition and division is done. It's the first element with the first element. So 7 minus 1, you get 6. 3 minus 2, you get 1, and so on. Any doubts so far in addition and subtraction? Please unmute yourself.
No.
Okay. So would you like to try this one? Would you like to try this one? The third one?
Yes.
Before entering the values into the calculator, can you tell me, is this possible?
No. No.
Yeah, so you
No,
will
ma'am.
get, yeah, it is not possible because we do the addition and subtraction with the matrices of the same dimension or shape. Okay, so here you might get the error known as the dimension error or something like that. Okay. So is the addition and subtraction clear?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So we move to the multiplication. Okay, so in multiplication, it's basically the same thing, just we are going to put the multiplication sign instead. Would you like to try this one? I'll try along with you. Okay, so we go to mode, we go to 6 as matrix, then we take 1 as matrix A. We see that the dimension is 2 by 2, so 2 by 2 is 5. We enter the values, 6 equal to 3 equal to 1 equal to 2 equal to. As soon as I finish entering the values in matrix A, I press AC, I go to shift and in matrix section. Now I know that I need to enter the second matrix. What am I going to press? Which option?
Data.
Data. Yes, we are going to press data, okay, which is 2. Now we need to take that into matrix B. So I enter 2. Again, the dimension is 2 by 2. So that is fifth option. I enter 8 equal to 2 equal to minus 4 equal to 1 equal to. Now what I'm going to do? Okay, so now I hit AC, shift, go into matrix. Now I need to multiply them. My data is already in matrix A and matrix B. So I take matrix A, which is 3. I put the into multiplication sign, shift, matrix, and I need matrix B, so that is 4 and equal to. So you get the values as 36, 15, 0, and 4. Okay, that's any doubts in this?
People are able to solve the questions. They are answering. They are putting the answers in the chat box.
Oh, that's great. Okay. Okay. Would you like to do these ones? Example 2 and example 3?
Saloni, can you show them the
Yeah.
determinant and the transpose?
Yeah, okay. Okay, so we'll go for the determinant and transpose. We go into matrix. Okay, that's it. And we choose matrix A and then, okay, I'll take a 3 by 3 matrix. So 1 and I'll put some random values. Okay, so we take 5 is equal to 2 is equal to 4 is equal to 7 is equal to 3 is equal to 1 2 6 8 and 4. Okay, so now what I did is I entered into matrix A. I entered the values in a 3 by 3 matrix. Now I'm going to hit AC, so that is saved in matrix A. I go into shift and 4, so I get this matrix. Now, as you can see, okay, I'll explain what is this. DIM is dimension. Second is the data. We have 3 as matrix A, matrix B, matrix C, and this is matrix answer. And this is 7th is determinant. So to find the determinant, we just hit 7. So you get the DET. That's a function sort of. So we know that data is in matrix A. So we go to shift, we go to 4, we enter 3 because we entered the values in matrix A, close the bracket, and you get the determinant. So determinant is easy part. We just enter the option. Do you want me to show this again? Any doubts? Okay, cool.
No.
So we go into this again. Oh, my values are already entered. Okay, that's cool. Okay, now these values, I'm going to perform a transpose on it. Okay, so transpose is basically we're going to interchange rows and columns. So as you can see, 5 to 4 is in a row. The 5 to 4 will come in a column. Okay, so after you finish entering the data, hit AC, Shift 4, and you can see the 8th option as the transpose. So hit 8. Now our data was in matrix A. So Shift 4, then 3 matrix A. Okay, so I do this. So now you got the transpose. So as I said, 5 to 4 were in horizontal. Now our answer, which is the transpose, is 5 to 4 in a column. So this is also easy. We are just using the function. Any doubts in this? Okay. Do you guys want to solve this? Example 2 or example 3 you can solve. If you observe example 2, it's kind of an identity. So, and in example 3, you have a 2 by 2 matrix into, you have 2 rows and 1 column. So 2 into 1. So is this example 3 possible? Let me check the chats. Yes, example 3 is not possible. Okay. So in matrices, it's basically you, I think I could annotate. Yeah. So you have here a 2 by 2 matrix, and this is 2 rows. So 2 and 1 column, so 1. So usually in matrices, if you want to multiply, you just need these values, the inner values, to be equal. If they are equal, you can multiply them. So you can multiply these matrices. And okay, so I'll be doing it. We go into 6 matrix 1. Okay, so just okay, so we have it as 2 by 2. So that is option 5. I enter quickly the values. Okay, the annotations are disturbing here. Okay. So I hit AC, I shift 4, then we enter data for matrix B. So we go into 2, we go into 2, matrix B is already entered. Oh, sorry. Uh, 2, 6, 1, which is 2 by 2, 5. Shift and we go 4. Now I think I need to switch into dimensions because this dimension has a different. So we go into 1. For matrix B, I choose 2. And now this dimension was 2 into 1. So we have 6 here. I enter 6 and 4. Now I hit AC, shift. Shift isn't visible. Shift 4. And now I'm going to multiply matrix A and matrix B. So 3 into shift 4, matrix B, which is 4. And I get the values as 14 and 28. Has anyone solved it? Oh, that's cool. Okay, so this is about the multiplication. So I hope you know how to change in dimensions as well. This is pretty easy. It's like matrix A into an identity matrix. You can see this is an identity matrix, and you get the matrix A itself as the answer. You can try it with your calculators as well. Okay. Moving on to okay, inverse of matrices. This year, so we go into matrix. Okay, we have 1, which is the 3 by 3, and now I'm going to enter the values. 2 equal to 4 equal to 6 equal to 3 2 1 2 9 7 and 3. Okay, so now I'm done entering the values. I'm going to save them by AC, then shift, go into matrices. Now our data is in matrix A. We don't need another matrix, so we're just going to use the matrix A. So I'll just put this 3. And can you see here near the log function, here's the button for x inverse. You can just hit that, and then you can press equal to, and then you get the values for the inverse. So this is for the inverse. You can try these. These have dimensions of a 2 by 2. Any doubts so far?
Hello.
Ma'am, please repeat inverse.
Okay.
Saloni,
Okay.
please repeat inverse.
Okay. Sorry. Okay, I'll just clear this off. We go to. Okay, we go into 3. Is my matrix okay? Okay, I'll do it all over again. I'll do it for this only. So we go into matrix mode, enter 1, you have a 3 by 3 matrix, and we enter our values. Okay, so that is 2, 4, 6, 3, 1, 2, 9, 7, 3. So I've done entering the values. So after you're done, if you're done with entering the values, you go AC, then shift, and 4 matrix. Now what we are going to do is we are going to find the inverse, right? We already have a function over here, a button for inverse, that's x raised to minus 1. Is the button accessible to you? Is the switch? So we are just going to take matrix A, since our data is in matrix A, enter 3, and here's this inverse button. Just going to click that, and then hit enter, equal to, sorry. And we get the inverse values. Is this seen? Sorry. Okay. So you guys can try for these. I'll try this one with you, example 2. Okay. So mod matrix A, I have the dimension of 2 by 2, so 5. 3 equal to minus 8 equal to 2 equal to minus 5 equal to. I'm done entering the data. I'm going to hit AC, shift, enter into matrix. Now my matrix is in matrix A, the data. So I enter 3 matrix A, hit the inverse here, and equal to. So you get minus 5, 8, minus 2, and this. Oh, we have answers in the chat as well. So you got it. Any doubts? Any doubts in your? Okay. So I think Amish is going to take over the complex numbers. I just stop my screen share. Okay. Amish?
Yeah, just a second. Okay, so we'll be now looking for just a second. Yeah. So is the screen visible?
Yes, Amish.
Yeah. So for complex numbers, we have to switch to the complex mode. That is, when you press the mode button, you will get the second option as complex. So go for that, and you will see the complex mode written here in the screen. Now, so it's a normal basic addition. Just in complex numbers, the I factor comes up. So for the first question, 3 plus 5i plus minus 4 plus 9i. So we just need to enter the numbers plus 5. Now to enter I in this in the calculator, you ENG button, fourth row, second button from left side. When you press that, you will get I in your display. So basically, this becomes a complex number now. 3 plus 5i is one of the complex numbers. So now just do some so now type out the second number, that is minus 4 plus 9i. Equate it and you will get the answer as minus 1 plus 14i. So you guys can try this out. Try out the second and third and try out the second and third and put the answers in the chat box, please. It's just a simple calculation for now. Try the second one. I got for third error. Okay. So people, Anushk Sawant. Anushk Sawant, you are saying some kind of an error in matrix. Please unmute yourself.
हाँ सर
हाँ बोलो.
सर वो थर्ड में एरर आया था मैट्रिक्स में थर्ड एग्जांपल में.
This 1 2 2 4.
Yes.
Okay, I will just show that. So till then, others, you can solve the third question, that is 1 plus I into 3 plus 5i. Just ensure that the brackets are there so that you will be able to do the multiplication easily without any what is it, mixing of the values. So Ankush, go to the press mode, enter 6, choose one matrix. Enter the dimension, that is 2 into 2. So, since
Amish,
the dimension, bol.
Hello.
Yeah.
You will get an error if you look at the matrix. You know how to find the inverse of the 2 by 2
Okay,
matrix.
so it's
right?
determinant is
So,
0, na?
Yeah, its determinant appears to be 0. So you will get an error.
I will just show him that, na? The
Yeah,
error
sure.
comes. Yeah. So once
So when you solve, don't just jump into calculators. First, try to look at the problem, analyze it, think about it, and then you can solve.
So see, now I just loaded the value and as you can see, it gives us a math error. Now this is because if you calculate the determinant, that is 4 into 1 into 4 minus 2 into 2, that gives us a 0. So at least if you want to calculate the inverse, you need the determinant value greater than or equal to 1. Because if you remember, the equation is A into identity matrix is equal to A. So when you when you equate it like LHS is equal to RHS, you will get as I is equal to A into A minus 1. And the inverse matrix formula was 1 by determinant. So if the determinant value is 0, then 1 by 0 it becomes. So that's why it's not calculatable. It's not computable. So I'll just shift to complex mode again. So everyone has answered. Now I'll just 5 plus 56i minus 3 minus 8i. So we get it as 2 plus 48i. And for 1 plus I into 3 plus 5i, we get the value as minus 2 plus 8i. So I hope everyone got till this. We're able to solve this? Please type yes in the chat box. So now I'll be showing you how to calculate the theta value of the complex. That is when you convert the complex number into an Euler form, you use the theta value, right? So I will show you how to get those values using the complex mode itself. Okay, so everyone has typed yes. So I'll just clear the display and press shift button and go to the complex mode. Press complex, that is the second button. So press this. Here you will see four options. One is the argument, second is the conjugate, third is the third is the modulus and the theta form, and fourth is the a plus bi form. So first I will show you the argument form. So when I press argument and I enter one complex number, so you will get it as 53.13. Now argument is basically tan inverse. So you are getting the theta value of 3 plus 4i, that is 53.13. Now this 53.13 is in degrees. So if you want the value in radian, press shift, press mode, and you will see this display. Now this is a completely new set of new options. So earlier when you press mode, you used to get these 8 modes. That is the computational, complex, statistics, etc. But when you press shift and then press the mode button, you will be taken to the setup menu. Here you can choose, you can press the button 4. So it will convert into radian. So as you can see, the symbol is here. The symbol here is shown as R. Press equation and then you will get the value 53.13 converted into radians form, that is 0.927. Is that clear?
Sir, please repeat.
Okay, I'll just repeat again. So the default mode in your calculator is degree mode. So you can see here in the display, the degree mode. Can you see? Whoever said repeat, please unmute yourself and please say yes if it's visible, the D symbol.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So now we want this value in radians. Okay. So press shift, press this button, that is the mode button. So when you press shift and access this button, it will become the setup button. So press that button, you will see a new set of options, that is math IO, line IO, degree, radian, gradient, fixed, scientific, norm, etc. For now, you don't. We won't be going into those options for now. You just need to press 4. So the symbol will change from D to R, and then press equate. You will get the value 53.13 degrees in radians format, that is 0.927. Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. So that was the argument. So that was the argument option. Any complex number, you can get the theta value instantly by going by pressing shift, pressing the number 2 button, press 1, enter the complex number, and press equate. So now you get the value in radians. Press shift, press mode, switch to degree, and equate it again. You will get it in the degrees format. Now let's let's go to the second option. Now this is conjugate. So basically a plus bi converts to a minus bi. So that's the only function of this conjugate. So I will just enter 3 plus 4i and I will get it as 3 minus 4i. So that was the conjugate function. Everyone is here with me?
Amish, the previous one, can you just repeat it?
Yeah, thank you, Salon. Okay, so press shift, press the number 2 button, that so as you can see above the number 2 button, you will see a CMPLX, complex written. So press that. You will see 4 options: argument, conjugate, converting the complex into modulus and theta format, and converting the complex number into a plus bi format. So press 1. You will see this argument displayed. Then write 3 plus 4i and close it. So equation will have 53.13. This 53.13 is the theta value in degrees. If you want the answer in radians, press shift, press mode, and then press the number 4, and then just equate it to refresh the answer, and you will get it as 0.927. Is that okay? Bishop, Anushk, is that okay? Please type yes in the chat box. Okay, someone is.
You can continue.
Okay, so I will just shift to the conjugate. Should I explain the conjugate?
Amish? Saloni?
Yes, sir. He will be back. He just texted me. He had some technical issues. He's rejoining.
Okay, okay. All of you wait for a minute. He is going to rejoining again.
Am I audible?
Yes, Amish.
Yeah, so sorry about that.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, so guys, can you see the calculator? Saloni, is the calculator visible?
Yes, it's visible. Yes.
Okay, so I was at the conjugate part. Should I explain the conjugate?
Just run through over
Please
it.
type yes or no. Okay, so Ambuj says no. Anyone else? No. Okay, then I will shift to the third option. So let's continue with the third option. Now, so I'm pressing. So when you press the third when you access the third option, your display will look similar to this. So at that time, you have to press the cursor button and ensure that the cursor is behind this triangular button. There, you will press the 3 plus 4i, whatever the complex number you want to get the format. modulus and the theta format, plus that 3 plus 4i and press equate. So 5 is the modulus and 0.927, since we are operating in the radians mode, the theta value comes up in 0.927. So I just do this again. Press shift, press 2, press 3 to access this radians and theta format. Press the cursor button, ensure that the cursor is behind the arrow, triangle arrow, and then press the value. Now 1 plus 2i. So press equate and you will get it as root 5 and the value in 1.107. So I would like everyone to try this 5 plus 6i, convert it into radians, convert it into the modulus and the theta form. Give the answer of theta in degrees. Everyone just try and write down your answer in the chat box. Okay, so Abhishek has given, Raj has given. Everyone else, please try. Modulus is root 61. Okay, we will check that answer. Root 61. Okay then, so I'll just check the answer. The answer is root 61 and the angle is 50.19 degrees. And in radians, the answer will be root 61, 0.87 radians. Okay, is that clear?
Yes.
Okay then, I guess it's clear for, okay, so Chrysalis says yes, Om says yes. Okay then, we are getting more positive responses. So we'll switch to the fourth option. Now here you will be converting the answer that we got earlier into the A plus BI format. So choose option 4. Now this answer is actually, I'll just show you. So the answer is basically the 5 plus 6i that we have used earlier. Now technically we should have got the what do we say, the modulus and the angle format, but the calculator is not displaying it right now. So for now I'll just write it manually. So root 61, and to get the angle symbol, press shift, press the first button in the third row below the arrows here. Press shift and press the third row first button. You will get the angle symbol and write down the value. Now I think we got 0.627 something, I guess, in radians. So press equate and you will get the form, you will get this root 61 angle 0.627 radians in complex format. That is the A plus BI format. I'll just explain it again. Press shift, press 2, choose the fourth option, and then write down the value. So I will just for now, for the basically modulus 5, press shift, press the get the angle symbol, 5 angle. Now I'll just switch to the degrees mode because writing it radians is complex. So 5 angle 45 degrees. So Press equate, and you will get the answer in as 5 root 2 by 2 plus 5 root 2 by 2 I. Now, whenever the theta value is in 45, like whenever the theta value is 45 degrees, so it's tan 45. So basically the coefficient of a plus, so basically a plus b, a by b or b by a becomes 1. So the coefficients tend to be the same. Where is the angle symbol? Okay, Raj, press shift, press the first button in the third row. Can you see? And
Yes, sir.
okay, so you get the angle symbol, 5 angle 60 degrees and equal to that. You can, or else you can just write this and you will get it directly. Okay, Raj?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So that was the whole complex part. So this brings an end to this whole calculator workshop. I hope everyone understood whatever has been taught to you. So Adonia has sent the feedback form on the chat box. Everyone, please fill that form. And if you have any doubts or if you have any calculator related doubts, you can either contact your teachers or our domain club website is active, so you can even send us queries over there. Any doubts? You can unmute yourself and ask. The session is over. Okay, Nikhil says no. Anyone else?
I think, yeah. So I hope this session was pretty engaging and you enjoyed solving all the mini problems. You can always contact any member from the domain club to clarify doubts, or your teachers. You can also support them on Instagram and all. I now request Ms. Divyani Balasara to propose the vote of thanks.
A very good afternoon to everybody present here. I'm here to deliver the vote of thanks for today's session. The American author Ken Blanchard once said, "None of us is as smart as all of us." I have exactly the same to say today as I extend the vote of thanks. I thank the many hands that have toiled to make this event a success. I wish to start off by thanking Father Mario, the rector on campus, and Father Nelson, the campus minister, along with the entire management for all the encouragement they provide us at all times. I wish to thank Dr. Prasanna Nambiar, the principal at DBIT, for the constant support, guidance, and motivation that she provides us with. A huge thanks to all the HODs, namely Dr. Shashikant Pawar, Dr. Ashwini Kotrashetty, Professor Sana Ansari, and Professor Janvi Baikerekar for providing a deeper insight into the working of all the departments at DBIT. I thank the TPU, Mr. Bharat Kumar Bhandari, and the COE, Professor Samir Hadkar, for enlightening the students about the training and placement and examination system respectively. I thank all the faculty mentors and student mentors for making the new students feel at home. I also wish to extend my thanks to both the counselors, Ms. Amrita Achrekar and Ms. Kuntal Doshi, for making time out of their busy schedules to guide the incoming students. I thank the Student Council and all the volunteers who have enthusiastically and wholeheartedly contributed towards this event. I wish to thank both the compares, Brianna and Adonia. They made sure the entire event had a good skeleton. I extend my thanks to the entire FE teaching team, starting off from Dr. Vinod Gokarna, the FE department head, Dr. Revati, Professor Pratibha, Professor Samir, Professor Kartiki, Professor Jijo, Professor Swapnil, Professor Hemant, Professor Sachin Sugave, Professor Sachin Shervi, Professor Satyanarayan, and Professor Palvi for having each other's back and being available all round the clock. I thank both our lab assistants, Mr. Sanjay and Mr. Rishikesh, for the technical and back-end support. The final thank you is obviously due to all the parents and the students for being a patient and receptive audience. Dear students and parents, all of us at DBIT look forward to making this association a memorable one. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. All students are kindly requested to please fill the feedback form. I have put up on the chat. You all are able to access it? You all have any problems with it? Could you all like check it out and let me know?
We can access the forms.
Yeah. Okay. That's all for the day. Thank you for your patience. This is Edonia Sequeira, your host for today, signing off. Hope you have a wonderful session and we all meet once again. Have a nice day.